are going to cover a topic which is very crucial for anyone who is developing for a real-time environment. That is, we are going to play with JSON. So this video I am making because many of you has asked what should we do when we have like thousands of attributes in our what we say in our payload, or if you want to call some external API and we have thousands of attributes, how to deal. If someone is sending us, how to deserialize. If we want to send something, how to deserialize. So we are going to take a complete overall picture around that. So before that, let me show you what is there in documentation. Okay, so whatever I'm showing you, all the pages, I'll share the links in the description, so no need to copy from here. Yeah, so in the documentation, if we see, either the explanation is using the raw string, like which is already having the values, and then trying to access it in this format, or is it using spin values. So the spin is very important concept, but like I don't think we are going to use it in real time, because we are not going to have any kind of these values which are going to be fixed in the payload itself. But yes, that is useful, and because with the documentation we can easily understand, that's why I am not considering the spin for our tutorial. So I am going to focus completely on the POJOs, which is the pure Java object. So based on Java object, how we can convert it to JSON, and how we can like have a nested thing, and all those things we are going to cover. So first of all, let me show you the code first, then we'll go into execution, because today there is nothing much to demonstrate, but the concept that we are going to cover is very important. Okay, so we have a POJO called person. Okay, no string, nothing is required. So if people are writing JSON in the toString, that is again a fraud, I would say. Okay, so we should try to, like, we should not touch any kind of these things and get the JSON out of object. Okay, so yeah, you see there's a person POJO which contains only name and gender, both are strings. Okay, that's it, nothing more, nothing less. And then if we see, what we are doing is, first we are going to hit an API, hit the controller which is going to execute this method, and finally what we are going to do is, we have something called variables.objectValue.serialization format, and here if you can see, when we are doing any post request, we'll have this different kind of content types. So in Camunda we have, like, in this serialization data format, we can send either an application JSON or application XML, or there are n number of other formats, but which format are supported by this serialization data format is limited to what a spin dependency understands. Okay, so first let me start from the beginning. Here we have something called spin. Okay, so for spin we need to add these 4 dependencies. So instead of all these 4, we have a common dependency to add, but that didn't work for me. As per the documentation it should, but it didn't work for me, so I added all these 4 dependencies. Let me see if it is there or not. Okay, fine, and that's no problem. So I added all those 4 dependency. I'll add this code in the GitHub, so you can see for the spin, and then you can add these 4 dependencies. Okay, so once we add these 4 dependencies, it will support 3 to 4 types, in which the major type of formats that we use will be like serialized, XML, JSON, and text, of course. Okay, so in this demo we are going to use only JSON. So dependency wise only we need to add these 4. We are done with this. Okay, now coming to here, we are trying to send our object in form of JSON. Okay, so that I am storing in type to person JSON. So if you can see, if you have followed the previous parts, there you can see how we can set variable, get variable, all those things. Okay, so runtime service will have all those properties. For now I am creating a custom serialized, this is variable name. For that I am assigning value called type to person value. So this thing is not a JSON. Okay, this is a literal object. Okay, so just keep in mind for this. Once I execute, then I'll show you what all we can do with this. Okay, so this is a literal object, and then if we see, I am using an object mapper. So this object mapper will catch a person, I mean a POJO, and it will convert to string. So that string will be in the format of JSON. So this thing I am assigned to another variable called custom JSON, and custom serialized will have the actual object. So Here I face too much problem, but as of now everything is resolved. I'll add this updated code, and here I have added again these 4 new links. So you can see play with JSON, XML manipulation, so everything you can find here. But yeah, the main thing that we are going to face problem that I'm covering here. Remaining you can find in this 4 links. So okay, so here I am assigning an actual object. So what all we can do with this, that I'll cover in a moment, but custom JSON will have a literal JSON. Now why I am doing this, that again I'll cover in a moment. Okay, so let me start this. Okay, yeah, we'll wait for a minute. It's loading. Okay, creating tables in the database, fine. You need to make sure the dependencies which you are adding is compatible with your Camunda version. Okay, so you can again find it your M2 repository or similar to that. Okay, it has started. I'm going to clear the log, and I am going to open localhost 8085, my username you, password you. Okay, so I have opened task list. There is nothing here. I'll open cockpit as well. Okay, I'll open task list in the new tab. Okay, so here we have nothing. Similarly, in the process definition we are going to use connector sample. Here also we have no instances, correct? So what I am going to do is, we have written a controller. That controller will do nothing, but it will simply call this method. That's it, nothing else. Okay, still I will show you that controller. So you can see method name is start process by message to, and I am going to call this start process by message to, and it is expecting a person object. So this is simple, right? This controller will pass in person object. One second, where did it go? Yeah, okay, so here it will come. So this we discussed already. I am opening Postman, and you can see I am passing a name called name1, gender called gender1. That's it, and we'll send it. Good. We don't need this anymore. Let's clear the logs, and now let's go to our portal. We'll refresh. Okay, we can see one instance is created. Similarly, we'll go to task list and we'll refresh it. Okay, one task is created. Okay, yeah, so this is what I wanted to show. Claim. So if you can see, the first variable is a direct object, second variable is a JSON. So I hope the JSON how to create that you know. Now this is the literal object. If I go to, this is my admin panel, okay, where I can watch what all instances are created, and if I open it, I can see these are the variables and its values are there. So this string is a hardcode value. Hardcode, not hardcode. This we got dynamically, but we cannot modify it. Yeah, so that's what it. But this, if you can see, this type of object. So what we can do is, you can see it's a serialized value is this and deserialized value is this. But why I am showing you specifically this is, first thing. So let me go back to here. So this, okay, this video's conclusion is these 2 points. First point is why I am trying to get the JSON, because in the modeler, if you can see, I'll open this here. In the modeler, if someone wants to call any external API, they'll try to write a connector. If you have not seen, go back to the previous video and watch how to do a get request, post request, then continue with this. So there we have seen how to configure a connector. And if you can see in the payload, we are trying to get 4 variables, and we are trying to create the JSON, correct? But what if there is thousands of attributes? So in that case, we are going to simply what is the variable? Okay, yeah, for this variable we have assigned the JSON, right? So what we will do is, we will copy that, and in the payload, right, in the payload we'll simply remove everything, and we'll write only dollar that variable. That's it. You're getting me, right? This I copy pasted, maybe because of that it is coming in green, but I'll simply write custom. Okay, it will come in green. no matter. Okay, so we'll simply write it here, and it will then as expected 1,000 variables JSON will be passed as a payload. So this was the major issue that everyone was asking in the comments of previous videos. So that was one thing. And second thing, right, I'll control Z. I hope this you got it. Now next thing is, because we are passing the variable, I mean object, so you can see in the form, oh my system is lagging, 1 second. Yeah, so this was the object, right? The custom serialized. I can show you that variable name, custom serialized. So this custom serialized is what is having the value which is nothing but an object of type person. So with that, if I write any method here, okay, it might be toString or it might be anything. So I can call that function. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, if I write any function in this Pojo class, okay, in general, forget command everything. So we can call that function based on object. So that's how I'm going to call get gender, and I'll simply modify in this command. Okay, dot get gender. Okay, I'll save this, I'll redeploy. Okay, let me refresh, let me pass one more thing, name to, gender to, send. Okay, now let's refresh this. So this time you will see claim. Here you can see the value, right? So if I go to the admin panel and if I try to refresh this, I can see I have, okay, I'll go back. I can see I have deployed it again, so it will be deployed with the second version. So in that second version we have created one instance. So here you can see it is an object. Okay, we are assigning it an object, but in the actual flow we are using just one of the function, that is get gender. So these two things, how to have the JSON in the payload for any REST API or POST API, and how to call the Pojo methods. So that was the basic intention. Now the issue that I got was this dependencies thing, the version things. So please make sure that these versions are compatible with your Commanda version. Mine is 7.12, and yeah, that was pretty much enough. And right, so one last concept that I want to touch is, so I'll not give demo of that, but yeah, if you can see this JSON, if you want to access name, if you want to access gender, only gender or only name, okay, provided that the one that you are accessing is in string format. So what you will do in that case, so to convert the JSON which is in string format, you have something called spin concept. So based on that spin, okay, let me give you an example directly here, because that is a very important concept. Let me check. I hope I find it quickly. Okay, see, so suppose this JSON, okay, this is in string format. Okay, so what you will do is, instead of accessing $customer, you will say the customer that you are accessing is in string format, that's why you are writing S. S means that the JSON which is there in string format will be converted to JSON. Okay, now you can access the properties. In that properties, like the nested attributes or anything, you can access. So if you can see, it accessed address, then inside that one more property. So that's how we can access any JSON attribute which is in the format of string. So I hope all these three concepts, that is using the object methods, converting our JSON to string, or having trying to access one of the variable of the JSON which is in string. So this seems like very good once you understand. So I'll have all this documentation anyway, you can find it on Google, but I'll have this links in the description, and also this code in the GitHub. If you have any other queries, please write down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.